God says, I am so happy with you. Don't ignore me. My love for you will never fail. And when you hear those words, they strike deeper than any human compliment, because they carry eternity within them. They remind you that no matter how many times people reject you or fail to understand you, heaven itself leans in to whisper that you are chosen, treasured, and seen. And yet the shocking truth is that while God rejoices over you with singing, as Zephaniah 3:17 declares, you often silence his voice by drowning in the noise of comparison, lust, doubt, and the secret shame you think no one sees. But the Lord who sees all has not turned his back. He is still smiling over you, still waiting for you to notice that his hand is stretched out. You live in a world where every distraction pulls your eyes away, where hidden battles rage in your heart, and where you secretly wonder if your weakness disqualifies you. But here lies the mystery. The very weakness that makes you tremble is the canvas for his strength. The broken pieces you hide are the material for his masterpiece, and the tears you cry in silence are bottled in heaven, as Psalm 56:8 says. That is why he declares, don't ignore me. Because ignoring him means ignoring the fountain of strength that could lift you, the secret fire that could heal wounds you never speak about, the destiny that even hell itself cannot erase, because Romans 8:38-39 already revealed nothing can separate you from his love. The shocking reality is that many live as though God's smile is distant, as though his delight must be earned, but he has already clothed you with the righteousness of Christ, already stamped you with the blood of the Lamb, and yet your mind still wrestles with guilt from sins long forgiven, and so you avoid his presence when he is actually calling you closer, whispering, like a lover, don't ignore me. Can you feel the weight of this truth? The creator of galaxies, the one who holds the stars in his hands, has chosen to rejoice over you, not because of your perfection, but because of his covenant sealed at the cross. And this is why Satan fights you so violently. Because if you ever fully believed how much God delights in you, the chains of fear, shame, and manipulation would shatter instantly. Hidden in your daily routine, unseen to others, are those quiet moments when you feel unworthy, when secret thoughts haunt you, and it is in those very moments the Spirit of God is trying to break through, saying with urgency, my love for you will never fail. Return to me, hear me, choose me. Think of David, a man after God's own heart, yet he carried shocking failures, sins so heavy that they could have silenced him forever. But instead of ignoring God, he cried out in Psalm 51, create in me a clean heart, O God. And in that broken cry God found joy. Not because David was flawless, but because David kept turning back, kept refusing to let shame silence his worship. This is the hidden key. God is more interested in your returning heart than in your perfect performance. And while people may secretly rejoice when you fall, God secretly rejoices when you rise again. Even if you rise limping and scarred. You see, when the Father says, I am so happy with you, he is not applauding your perfection. He is celebrating your perseverance, your refusal to quit, your willingness to believe that his grace is greater than your darkest night. And that revelation becomes the fire that turns victims into warriors, wanderers into prophets, broken ones into chosen ones. But let's go deeper, because the Lord's warning, don't ignore me, carries weight. Ignoring God is not just forgetting to pray. It is neglecting the voice that was trying to protect you from disaster. It is overlooking the secret whisper that said, don't take that path, before betrayal came. It is silencing the tug of the Spirit that said, wait, before the counterfeit relationship appeared. And many suffer today not because God was absent, but because they ignored his subtle voice. Romans 8:28 promises that all things work together for good to those who love God. But how many delays, heartbreaks, and shocking detours could have been avoided if his whisper had not been ignored? You are living proof that even your ignored warnings have not destroyed his plan, because he still weaves even your failures into the tapestry of his design. Yet the Spirit pleads with you in this very hour. Don't keep ignoring him. Don't keep dismissing that conviction. Don't trade the eternal for the temporary. His love is not fragile. Like human affection, it does not wither when storms hit. It does not fade when you stumble. For Jeremiah 31:3 declares, I have loved you with an everlasting love, and everlasting means it outloves every betrayal, every mistake, every hidden sin repented of, and washed in the blood of Jesus. This is the kind of love that makes demons tremble, because when you finally embrace it, you rise in a shocking confidence that no witchcraft, no gossip, no spiritual attack can dismantle. The enemy's greatest fear is not your talent, not your bank account, not your network of friends. It is your unshakable belief that God is happy with you, that his love cannot fail you, because that kind of faith makes you untouchable in the spirit. It makes you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. It makes you a flame that no storm can extinguish. You may be secretly wondering why God would be happy with someone like you. And the answer is both humbling and shocking, because He sees you not only as you are but as He designed you to be. He sees the end from the beginning. He sees the warrior hidden inside the warrior, the prophet hidden inside the prodigal, the intercessor hidden inside the insecure. And while you doubt yourself, He is smiling because He already wrote your victory in His book. This is why Ephesians 2:10 says you are His workmanship, His masterpiece, created for good works prepared beforehand, and He delights when you walk in them. The tragedy is that too many Christians live as beggars when heaven has already seated them in places of authority. And God is crying out, "Don't ignore me." Not as a threat but as an urgent plea, because He knows that the more you ignore Him, the more the enemy will try to fill the silence with lies, shame, and destruction. Even when storms come, remember Mark 4:39, when Jesus rebuked the winds and the waves, the shocking part was not the storm itself, but the disciples' unbelief, because the Lord was with them the entire time, yet they feared as if they were abandoned. How often do you fall into that same trap, thinking God's silence means absence, when in truth His silence is an invitation to trust, to listen more closely, to lean into His heartbeat? The same God who calmed the storm is the same one smiling over your life right now, saying, "Don't ignore me, I am in the boat with you. I am not leaving. I am not failing you." And when you realize that God is still with you in the boat, still smiling, still rejoicing, it shifts everything, because then you stop interpreting your life through the lens of fear and start seeing it through the shocking reality of His unbreakable covenant. And this is where faith rises. Faith that says, "If God is for me, who can be against me?" As Romans 8:31 declares, faith that is not shaken by temporary setbacks. Faith that remembers Job, who lost everything yet discovered that God's presence was his true treasure. Faith that makes you whisper even in the midnight hour, "Though He slay me, yet will I trust Him." Because trust is the weapon that silences the enemy. This is why the Spirit keeps calling you, keeps saying, "Don't ignore me," because He knows that ignoring Him means losing the only anchor that can keep you steady when shocking storms rise. The enemy wants you distracted, drowning in the noise of endless scrolling, chained to comparison, suffocated by worry, because he knows if you keep ignoring the whisper of God, you will miss the secret instructions that unlock your next assignment. And here lies the warning. Every chosen one has a moment when the devil tries to convince them they are forgotten, that God is silent, that heaven is closed. But the truth is the opposite. Heaven is leaning over you. The Spirit is interceding for you with groanings that cannot be uttered. Romans 8:26, and Christ Himself is seated at the right hand of God interceding for you, which means the Father's smile over you is not passive, it is active, fighting, covering, protecting. If only you could see the hidden battles fought in the spirit realm while you slept, you would rise every morning saying, "I am loved, I am protected, I am chosen, and I will not ignore the one who rejoices over me." Even your scars are not wasted, because God's love does not erase your past, it redeems it. It shocks the enemy by using what was meant to destroy you as the very testimony that will save others. Just like Joseph declared in Genesis 50:20, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." That means the betrayal, the heartbreak, the nights of loneliness, the hidden tears, all become weapons in the hands of God to bring glory out of your story. You may not see it now, but heaven is already weaving purpose out of your pain, already aligning people you have not met yet, already preparing rooms you never imagined entering, and all of it rests on this foundation. His love for you will never fail. This is why He says, "I am so happy with you," not because you escaped every mistake, but because you refused to stay down. You refused to let the enemy write your ending. You refused to ignore the pull of His Spirit even when the world told you to quit. Look at Peter, the disciple who denied Jesus 3 times with shocking cowardice, swearing he never knew the Master. Yet after the resurrection, Christ pursued him, cooked breakfast for him by the sea, and asked 3 times, "Do you love me?" Not to condemn him, but to restore him, to show that his love had not failed, to remind him that heaven's assignment was still on his life. If Peter had ignored that encounter, if shame had silenced him, the church would not have seen Pentecost fire fall through his preaching. But because he answered, because he refused to ignore the voice of love, the world was changed forever. And you stand in that same place today, with the Spirit asking you, will you listen? Will you answer? Will you stop ignoring the voice that is calling you out of shame and into purpose? You need to grasp that when God says, Don't ignore me. He is not demanding attention like a needy friend. He is offering life, protection, wisdom, breakthrough, the shocking secrets of destiny that cannot be uncovered in the noise of this world. His voice is the compass in a land full of counterfeits. His presence the shelter in a time of storms. His love the anchor that makes demons tremble, because they cannot compete with a child of God who knows they are beloved. You don't need another prophecy to prove his love. You don't need another sign in the sky, because the cross already shouted louder than every voice in hell, and the resurrection already sealed the promise that his love is unstoppable. Stop ignoring the one who already gave his son. Stop silencing the whisper that keeps pulling you back, because the hour is late, the warfare is real, and the Spirit is calling you to wake up, rise up, stand up, because the time is short and your assignment is urgent. And as you hear these words, let them burn in you like fire. Let them dismantle the lies that told you God was angry, distant, or disappointed, because the truth is hidden in plain sight. He rejoices over you. He sings over you. He is happy with you, not because of what you built, but because of who you are in him, sealed with blood, covered in grace, called by name. Isaiah 43:1 declares, "Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine." And when God says you are his, no accusation, no rejection, no betrayal, no demonic attack can erase that claim. You belong, and his belonging is not fragile. It is eternal. It is relentless. It is shocking in its persistence. It will chase you to the ends of the earth, because his love will never fail. So here is the challenge. Will you keep living as though you are unloved, or will you dare to believe the scandalous truth that the King of Glory is smiling at you even now? Will you keep ignoring the whisper that calls you out of compromise, or will you rise and declare with boldness, "I am chosen, I am loved, I am sealed, and I will not ignore the God who delights in me"? The time has come for you to stop treating his voice as background noise and start treating it as the greatest treasure, because your next breakthrough, your hidden assignment, your shocking victory is all tied to one thing: your ability to listen and respond. God says, "I am so happy with you. Don't ignore me. My love for you will never fail." And if you dare to believe that, if you dare to walk in it, then you will become living proof to a dying world that heaven's love is real, eternal, and unstoppable.